Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel. I hope you are all doing well. In today's video we will split it in two parts. It's a live. This morning I was about to record, I was preparing as every morning the morning video, and suddenly I start seeing on Twitter, on social media, Instagram, Facebook, a lot of time the picture of Gianluca Vialli. Gianluca Vialli, ex-player of Juventus, ex-player of Cremonese, Sampdoria, Chelsea, staff member of La Nazionale. That's why I have also that beautiful sweater, Campioni d'Europa. He was there in the staff of Mancini last time that we won. And I stopped. I stopped because for people of my generation, I already see a softage in the chat, and I'm sure other people as well. We had the luck, the real luck, to admire the beautiful game of Gianluca Vialli as a striker, as a leader, as a charismatic person on the field, the one that brought us to our Champions League final, the last one that we won in 1996. He was the captain that day that took that cup with the big ears and put it in the air. I stopped. I totally stopped preparing. I didn't feel the energy to do a video. And I was thinking again about my youth, also about my son. He's 14, he's following football, he's watching his idols that are Federico Chiesa, for example, and maybe the upcoming Miretti, Fagioli, Sule. Well, my idols were Del Piero, but even before Toto Schillaci and Gianluca Vialli, Roberto Baggio. Gianluca Vialli, super important. And that's why I decided to do a video today in two parts. First, honoring Gianluca Vialli, and then going towards the preparation of the game, because we know it, we have to continue with life, honoring also a man that fought really hard, not only against the sickness, because he passed away at 58 years because of cancer, but also a man that fought on every aspect of the field. There was a beautiful quote that he said one day. He said, life is made of 10% of what's happening to you, and 90% of how you are reacting on these 10% of what's happening to you. And that's a beautiful one, how you are reacting to what is happening, because life is beautiful. Life is fantastic. There are so many moments of joy in life. You have a son or a daughter that is born. You go and you find a girlfriend or a boyfriend. You buy a new house, a new car, or the small things that are surrounding us. But also sometimes life is hard. It's really hard for some reason, because sometimes you deserve that life is hard. But sometimes because of bad luck, because it's the moment, because it happens. We say it sometimes, shit happens. Well, depending on how you are reacting to these kind of things, was a beautiful quote of Gianluca Vialli not so long time ago. Well, I want to say hello to you, and then I want to read you something from a book of Guido Vassiago. It is in Italian, so I will live translate while I'm reading. Hopefully my brain will be able to do that translation gymnastic, seeing the words in Italian and translating simultaneously in English. But I really wanted to do it because I'm sure that a lot of people, they were not yet big enough to admire Gianluca Vialli. You can go on YouTube, you can watch some goals, you can watch some beautiful bicycle kicks, but probably you will miss the men. And I really wanted to do that for Gianluca Vialli. So let me say hello to a few people in the chat today, and hopefully you will enjoy. It's not really long. It's not the entire book, of course, that I will read. It's just that small chapter about Gianluca Vialli. Ciao to Mohamed, ciao to Steve, to Dino, Sane, to John, to Bogdan, to Detlef, to Godigapo, also my friend Aman, Stavros, Paltol, Wilder, Dudu, Animesh, Sedar, Tony, Mikey Mazzarese, Taha, Softich, that sent me a message on social media as well. You know that I'm open, especially to the loyal people here to discuss also. That's always nice. Chris, Michael Filetti, grande Michael, Vittorio Pavone, Anthony Schifano, Dusan Vlaovic is there as well together with us, David and Marian, and a lot of other people. Did I say? No, I will continue. Alessio, Andre, Wilder, and Kalle. I believe I said all the people that joined us now, except of Acid, because I don't see the message yet. So let's go immediately into the words for Gianluca Vialli. Really beautiful book, a fantastic book. If you speak Italian, guys, I recommend you to buy that book. It's not expensive. From Guido Vassiago, the director of Tutto Sport, good friend of mine, good person that I know, that I really appreciate and I admire. Book with the beginning of the book written by Claudio Marchisio. And then they go to the legends of Juventus. There are a lot of legends. I don't know how many, but all these legends here with a bit of story and really well written. So let's start, guys. Let's see. It's this book, I grandi giocatori. That was the message of Chris Kane. I grandi giocatori Juventus from Guido Vassiago. Let me start. Vialli, the striker that was encouraging everyone. That's the title, how they describe it. Gianluca was not scoring anymore. Him, the bomber, the striker that arrived at Juventus just after he established a record as the player that cost the most of all history of Juventus. He succeeded in scoring only 6 goals in all that Serie A with Juventus. Only 6. He was saying to himself, while he was a bit depressed, sitting on a bench of an empty changing room. While he was thinking about the really bad Serie A, the really bad season, and he was thinking again about all his career until that moment where he scored only 6 goals. Gianluca Vialli, he think about his career. He's thinking about how he started in professional football. He made his debut with the professional football. He was only 16 years old with Cremonese in 3rd division. The team of his city, of his town, a team that he really particularly liked. He was able to reach the 2nd division, promotion from 3rd division to the 2nd one. Always playing really well. And all the teams, they were sending scouts, important scouts, to watch these games, his games. Every president was telling to their employees, go and watch that young Vialli. Looks like a young phenomenon. Go and watch because I need to know if it's true or not. The scouts, they were going there, they were watching, they were coming back, and they were telling, effectively, this striker is really strong. He's tall, he's strong physically, and he's really good with the ball. We need to hire him. We need to sign him. So all the scouts, the managers, they were going to the president of Cremonese, and they said, we want Vialli. How much? Give us a price. But the president, he was saying no. No to everyone. There will be time for the big teams. You will see, Gianluca, that there a lot is more difficult. Everything is more difficult. And sometimes even less fun. Gianluca was sitting there on the bench of the stadium of Juventus, and he was thinking about these words. After 4 years in Cremonese, he went to a bigger team, to Sampdoria, and that's where he became a champion. He won a Scudetto that looks like a fairy tale. He was called up for the national team with Italy. Then, Juventus. But the first year didn't go as expected. Actually, quite bad. He was not able to find himself and also no link with the players, with his teammates, not even Roberto Baggio. He was his friend and he was thinking that with him, he would form an extraordinary tandem. The coach back then, Giovanni Trapattoni, he was even thinking to play him as a midfielder because he was not able to score anymore. One of the strongest strikers all time of the world playing as a midfielder. A crazy idea, but they tried it. Didn't work. What was happening to Gianluca? Nobody was able to understand it. He was sad. The supporters of Juventus were depressed, disappointed. The managers were worried. And the year after, well, it was even worse. Because his second year at Juventus, he played only in total 12 games. because of an injury. Well, one bad luck after the other. And he scored in that second season only 4 goals. And that's why 12 months later, he was again on that same bench. He was sitting on that bench. And he was even more sad, even more depressed. And that's on that bench that Marcello Lippi is finding him, is seeing him. Marcello Lippi, the new coach of Juventus. A guy that was quite harsh, but always really honest. Big blue eyes, and nearly always a cigar in his mouth. Gianluca, why are you sitting there? You are the captain of this team. What can your teammates think about you if they see you with your head between your hands? Gianluca stood up. He was breathing out. Mister, I can't play well anymore. I'm scoring really a few goals. I'm not even helpful anymore for the team. Stop. Gianluca, you have to do 3 things. You have to smile, you have to run, and you have to shot on goal. Smile, run, and shot on goals. And never thinking about the goal that you are not able to do, but think about the goal that you would love to do. And Vialli did like that. The first training of the new season, he was the first one on the training grounds. It was a new season. And his teammates there saw him there in the middle of the field with a really big smile on his face. And he was giving the 5 to every teammate that was arriving there. And he was encouraging them. The team started to work quite hard and quite well actually, in a really great atmosphere that season. And most important, they started to win all the big games, all the first game of that season. But he didn't score yet, until the 7th day of his 3rd season with Juventus. That's where Juventus needed to play versus Cremonese in 1994. Well, Cremonese, the city of Gianluca Vialli. He continued to say to himself, smile, run, and take your shot on goal. And that's why, at the 39th minute of that first half, after having run that hard to arrive in the box, he wanted to go on target, he wanted to shot, but the problem was that the goal was behind his back. And that's why, at that moment, he decided to try the most difficult thing, the bicycle kick, the scissor kick. He waited for the ball that come at a really perfect height for him. He jumped in the air with a fantastic jump, nearly about to do a backflip. And he go on target. A fantastic goal. Un gol spettacolare. Vialli was back the man that he was, the champion that everyone knew. In that league, in that Serie A, Vialli continued to make a lot of goals. One more beautiful than the other one. Headers, volley kicks from outside the box, inside the box, counterattacks. And he was leading the team. In the game versus Fiorentina, at the end of the first half, it was 2-0 for Fiorentina. Juventus came back to the changing room at halftime, and they were all depressed. Looks like the players were not even believing anymore that it was possible. They were starting to convince themselves that it was a loss, that the loss was written. Vialli was sitting on his usual spot, and Lippi looked at him and he made him like that, a sign with a eye. That's where Vialli, he understood immediately. He stood up and he spoke to his teammates. My friends, calm. If they were able to do 2 goals, we can do it ourselves. We can do the same thing. So put that sad face away, and you are obliged to smile, to run, and to take your chance on target. Go and shot. After a few minutes in that second half, a perfect cross is arriving to him, and he's going with his header, 2-1 for Juventus, losing. He's not even celebrating, he's going immediately towards the goal, he's taking that ball, and he's putting it in the middle of the field. He doesn't want to lose time. He wants to score that second goal. And after a really long action, he's able to do it. 2-2. He's able to lead that team of Juventus towards the 2-2. Equalized. He did his mission, but he was not happy. He wanted to do more. He was actually asking to his teammates to do more, to go to that extra mile. He wanted that 3-2, and yes, that 3-2 arrived, and it was his teammates, the young Alessandro Del Piero, that was able to do it. A fantastic goal, un gol meraviglioso, that all the stadium was screaming and yelling, and they were happy and celebrating. Lippi was smiling. Vialli became a captain. In that season, Juventus won the Coppa Italia, thanks to the goal of Vialli, but also the Scudetto, thanks to the way that he was leading the team. In the next season, his last one with Juventus, the long way towards the Champions League started. The cup that Vialli really wanted to win. That's why he trained even harder. He started to run even more. He was looking of ways to share more and more energy with his teammates. And game after game, goal after goal, that's how he brought Juventus to the final of Roma. In the night of the 22 May of 96, Vialli is taking that cup and is lifting it in the air. The bomber that was not able to score anymore, he became champion of Europe, and nobody would have never forgotten him anymore. Nobody would have forgotten him anymore. These are the last words. And I believe that today, we are on the 6th of January 23. It's 27, 28 years after that night of the 22nd of May. We didn't forget him, and I will never forget him. That was the story that is written in that book. I'm a bit emotional, I tell you the truth. I didn't read your comments. I don't know if you were a lot to write it. I don't know if you appreciated the story or not. It was difficult because it's in Italian, so I was live translating it. I'm sorry if I did some mistakes, but I hope you enjoyed. The most important is the message that I wanted to share with you, because YouTube is nice with the goals, with whatever you want to, but then you have the real story behind the man. And that was Gianluca Vialli for me, at least. Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel. Oof, die, we go. What are we speaking about today? Juventus versus Udinese, pre-game of tomorrow. Today there was the press conference. There was the press conference of Massimiliano Allegri. They all started also to remember Gianluca Vialli and also another player of Juventus that passed away yesterday, unfortunately. So it's not one, but two players, unfortunately. We'll come back on that in a second. It's a player that I personally never met, so I can't tell you the stories like I did for Gianluca Vialli. But also a big champion of the past of Juventus. Ernesto Castano, player that played between 58 and the 70s. He was also captain from the unexpected Scudetto back then in the time. So rest in peace also to Ernesto Castano. That's what I wanted to say. Hey, beautiful messages today on social media. If you go to Twitter and if you are following some Juventini, a lot of images and thoughts also on Instagram. Del Piero, Locatelli, Gianluigi Buffon, Ravanelli, his teammates, but also all the fans of Juve. Fantastic. So, what do we have to start with? Tomorrow, Juventus versus Udinese, we have to win. Because the match day after, there will be Napoli-Juve. If we want that game has a meaning, we have to win versus Udinese. A team that, after losing versus Milan 4-2 in the first game of Serie A, they started to win. Game after game. If I'm not wrong, they did 6 wins in a row. Fantastic run where all the people were saying, Mamma mia, they were there. Maybe, who knows, they can fight for the Scudetto. Nah, let's not exaggerate. You always have that surprise at the beginning of the tournament. But since then, 8 games without winning for the Bianconeri of Udine. not the Bianconeri of Juventus that are coming from 7 wins in a row. So it will be actually two different teams, both of them Bianconeri, black and white, one that started as a sprint and then for a long run had some difficulties or a lot of difficulties because they are not able to win anymore, and another one that started again last year, disaster, but then they found a way to stick together. Again, that game of Torino was the start. That game of Torino, the start, and then win. 1-0 here, 1-0 there, 1-0 here, 1-0 there, but able to convince in the big games, and especially in our home, doing much better than away. In our home, beating Inter, I hope you remember, 2-0, beating Lazio, 3-0, so super. But tomorrow, we already have someone that can be a doubt. We can't go with a full Brazilian defense, we will go without Bremer. Let me read a bit of your message before going into the press conference of Max and to the lineups of tomorrow without Bremer. I tell you, without Bremer, actually, it's in a way, it's good. It's good because he was at risk of suspension. So, due to the yellow card that he received versus Cremonese, because of that one, he's at risk of suspension. So, if he plays versus Udinese, if he receives a yellow card, he will miss the game of Napoli. So, in a way, I'm happy. Udogi is also at risk of being suspended, but of course, we don't care. Danilo, Gatti, Sandro. So it's time for Gatti to step up the task. Allegri was not 100% happy about Gatti in post-conference, not the pre-conference like today, but the post-conference post-interview after the game of Cremonese. He said that, okay, he played a good game, but he has to pay attention when he's giving the back, when he's actually trying to pay attention to what is happening on the right side with Sule or with Federico Chiesa, and he's remembering actually the two things that happened: the counterattacks and the first goal, nearly goal because it was saved on the live by Bremer, but then also the counterattack that happened in the second half when Federico Chiesa was there. So I'm not sure if Allegri will continue with Gatti. Could be, or we can play differently. So we have two options. Or we have Rugani in the middle, and it's not a mystery that today Massimiliano Allegri, he spoke about Rugani. He said that Rugani is ready in case of need. Well, Rugani can be there in the middle with Danilo on the right side and Alexandro on the left. 3-man defense. We continue with that 3-man defense. Another option is, like Henrik is saying, probably Alexandro, Gatti, and Danilo. Even if it's a bit more difficult. It's a bit more difficult with these three to have a real center defender. If you have no Bonucci and if you have no Bremer, probably Rugani can do it. Rugani was tested in that position in friendlies, not Gatti. Gatti that is playing a bit more on the right side. He can play as a center back, that's his role, but in a 2-man defense, in 3-man, it's a bit more difficult. So I don't believe in Gatti, Danilo, and Alexandro. I really believe in tomorrow Alexandro, Rugani, and Danilo, with Rugani being that center back. He will probably not be the one that will start from the back, and that's why the crucial role of Locatelli will be big. His role will be super big. If we want the Regista that is able to take that ball, he will not have to help only defensively, but this time also help to build the game from the middle of the field. Super important. So let me say hello, Gravush, Henrik. I read, is Rugani available? Gatti is getting there. Rugani, yes, but we just said it, Anthony. Alessio, I'm still afraid for the counterattacks with the players that are available. We are knocked out on counters. Well, that's a dangerous one. That's why I was believing that probably Danilo could have played on the right side of the field. But without Bremer, it's a bit difficult. It's a bit difficult. So who will start on the right side of the field? Big question mark today. Speaking about Sule, Allegri spoke really well about the kid. He spoke super well. He said that Sule, not only he had this amazing quality in his game, but also was offering some quantity. And he sacrificed himself and he did really well. But of course, that's not his natural role. So not sure if tomorrow he will be there on the right side of the field. Marleake could be called up again, but last time he was not, so I'm not sure if we will see him versus Udinese. Why not a more defensive lineup on the flanks with Barbieri? tomorrow. Barbieri could potentially play if he's not, if he's called up at least. He was called up, he didn't play versus Cremonese, so it could be the time of Barbieri because he has more defensive skills, and we know that Udogie, Beto are two players that can potentially be really dangerous on that side of the field where we are lacking. While with Cremonese, the danger was coming probably from the other side, the side of Kostic, where you had some players like Sernicola and Dessers that was really mobile and was running everywhere. The half Nigerian, half Belgian player that was born in Belgium, in Tongeren, by the way. That could be now we have the reverse. They are attacking on our weak side. Why weak? Because we are missing people, and I don't see Soulé. I don't see Soulé fighting there against Udogie or giving support to contain a physical player like Beto when Gatti is in difficulty. Especially not because there were some communication problems between Gatti and Soulé. So on that side, I believe a more mature expert Danilo, with on the right side maybe a Barbieri. What about starting Ealing Junior? I don't see the why. He came back from injury, he did 2 games where he had also to pay attention a bit more defensively on the left. He didn't shine. Also, he's coming back. He's a player that at the moment I would use later in the game in case of need, or to rest a bit of Kostic, thinking about Napoli, but I don't see why we should change there. Playing him on the right side will not help, because then play Soulé or play whatever you want. Offensively, we are thinking also someone that is able to do the 2 things. Quadrado and De Sciglio are out. Ciao from Budapest, Till. Ciao grande, ciao grande. Allegri must change that 3-5-2 to 4-3-3 or 4-2-2. A 4-2-2. You can have that kind of hybrid 4-2-2 with Weston McKennie going and giving support there, but I don't know if that's really the game where you have to do it versus Udinese, that is also playing in that 3-5-2 after 7 games where you are playing now with that 3-5-2 and it's bringing you results and solidity in defense and so on and so on. I don't believe that we will change, even if Di Maria can be back. What I believe, guys, is that you should try to do your game. You are at home. We are playing versus Udinese that is in difficulty. They don't have the same enthusiasm probably that they had in the beginning of the season, where everything that they were doing was succeeding. They were winning. Whatever they were doing super well. So now they are in a moment of doubt, but you know that when you are playing versus Juve, you are giving that extra mile. You are trying to do even better. Our stadium will be sold out. I believe it will be a lot of support for our boys tomorrow. I believe that the stadium will really be una bolgia. What does that mean, una bolgia? A craziness, a loud noise, with a lot of noise, a bit of casino in the stadium tomorrow. So I believe that tomorrow can be a game with the support of our team, of our supporters, full stadium, in a positive streak, and so on and so on. I would love to see a Juventus that is taking the lead, taking it and going to make the team, to make the game, to try to score not only 1 but more and faster than the game of Cremonese, where we had to wait until the 91st. Chiesa from the beginning of the second half could be, why not, a big surprise with Federico Chiesa starting the game, which would send a message, and knowing already, according with the coach, that he will not play that second half, but maybe giving immediately that boost, showing a sign that we are here to win. We are here to win and to win that game. Imagine tomorrow a 3-5-2 with immediately Chiesa on the right side, with Soulé linking up with Milik or Keane or whatever you want. 3 men in defense, Danilo, Rugani, Alexandro. In the middle you have Rabiot, Locatelli, Fagioli, Kostic on their side. Guys, you are sending a message that on the wings, we are not here to defend on Udogie. It will be Udogie that will have to defend on ourselves. I like that. But I don't know if Allegri will do it tomorrow. I don't know. But I'm expecting one of these surprises really soon. Pay attention to that. Ciao Guillermo, condolences. If you missed the beginning of the live, Guillermo, you really have to do it, because we shared an important story about Vialli as a man. And I hope you will be able to watch again the beginning of the live. That was super important. Ciao to my cousin. Happy New Year. Merry Christmas to my cousin Alex Messi Adriano. Il saying Forza Juve fino alla fine. Bonjour mon ami. Il serait temps que tu changes d'image de profil parce que tu avais 10 ans. He needs to change his profile picture. He was like 10 years there, and now he's a man of nearly 30. Whatever. Anthony Trimboli, we will win the Scudetto. Hopefully. But the games as Cremonese, winning were important. We have to continue to win also versus Udinese in our stadium. I said it in the Telegram group. I would start Federico Chiesa, and he can be subbed out at halftime. You see Aldo? We are there. T-Bone from South Africa. Ciao Beppe. Ciao T-Bone. Very sad day. Important to celebrate every small victory in life and on the pitch. Life is short. Well, again, we really went and we took 15 minutes really to share a story about Vialli. I believe it's the first time that I really share a long story like that on the channel. But there is a message that we said before speaking about that story, was a quote from Gianluca Vialli that you can find also on internet or whatever. I don't think he's the one that invented it, but he said it not that long time ago. He said 10%. Your life is made of 10% of what's happening to you, 90% of how you react to the things that are happening to you. And I really love that one. And when T-Bone is saying, celebrate every victory, as small as it is, in sport or in life, I totally agree. A lot of times people, they say, Beppe, you are exaggerating when you are celebrating for a goal versus Cremonese, as if you won the Champions League. Well, I was lucky enough to remember what it was to win the Champions League. I was nearly 15. I was 14 at the time. I was with my father, with my brothers. I know what it is because I won it. My team won it. I can tell you it was even more crazy when we won the Champions League. But I totally agree that today you are here, tomorrow you don't know. Enjoy life. Be happy. Of course, we have to criticize that Locatelli was invisible when he was building up the game. Of course, because it's a fact, it was objective that Paredes probably didn't enter as he should enter, or maybe he's a bit too aggressive, or he was not running as fast as Federico Chiesa. We have to speak about the fact that in the first half, we were having zero patterns idea offensively, and not only in the game of Cremonese, but that's something that is there since long. We know it. We have to do that. It's totally correct to do it. Otherwise, why do we speak about football, guys? But on the other hand, enjoy. Be happy. I saw some people criticizing, Beppe, no, we can't. It's a shame to win. We don't deserve to win. It's not fair, the result. No, guys. Be happy. Stop seeing everything negative. How much, and it's true, guys, it's really true. More and more that you go towards negativity, more negativity will be attracted to you. Because you stay up in the morning and you watch things negative. So you are attracting them, even if you don't want to. And it's hard, but cut that thing, look at the things in a positive way. Super important in life. Then, it's not because you are looking at things positive that tomorrow you will be rich with a fantastic house and a garden or whatever. No, it's not magic, but it helps. Anyway, thank you for your beautiful message, T-Bone. I totally agree. And not only me, Stavros as well. 3 points are 3 points, the rest doesn't matter. Well, it matters, of course. But we won because today we win versus Cremonese. At the end of the year, if thanks to that game of Cremonese, we celebrate the Scudetto because we won with 1 point, well, we will not remember Cremonese, but that Cremonese would have been decisive for the win, at the final win. If we lose, we will think about Monza game. Probably the other ones will speak about Salernitana, that they took away 2 points from us. But, think, important, crucial game. Udinese, if we win, it's an important game. Napoli as well. And it will be equal because winning versus Napoli or winning versus Udinese, at the end it's 3 points, huh? It's 3 points. Dai, we continue. What else did he say? Our coach, Max Allegri, Massimiliano. So he spoke about Alexandro that will play tomorrow. He said we have 4 defenders. Alexandro, Rugani, Gatti, and Danilo, 3 of them will play. I already anticipate you who will play. Rugani in the middle, Danilo on the right, Alexandro on the left. That's what I can already tell you and confirm you. Chiesa played well, even better than Allegri was expecting, and he said something important. He said, you know, these players that are coming in the second half, in the past, you knew that you would put them on the field for 20 minutes, and they would play 22 minutes. Injury time, 23. Today you don't know, because these 20 minutes can become 28 with 8-minute injury time. So you also have to pay attention to when you put them, and also these players, you know, when you are putting them in like Federico Chiesa at 35 minutes of the half, if you add 5 minutes, if you add 8 minutes, it's a complete half that they are playing, huh? It's a complete half that they are playing. So probably less and less you will see some coaches that will do immediate change at the 45th minute. Super important words about that. He spoke about Moise Kean. He's not sure who will play tomorrow. He said, Kean can play alone. What does that mean? We go back towards that 3-5-1-1 with Miretti supporting the midfield. And that's it, because it's not really supporting offensively. But can be Kean alone, can be Milik alone. Both of them can play together, Milik and Moise Kean. But also, why not Di Maria? These are the words of Max Allegri, not mine. So, Di Maria we can confirm, except of injury during the night while he's sleeping and drinking a bit of water. And he needs to go to J Medical because he drank too much. I don't know, he needs to go to the bathroom. Except of that, it should be there with the team tomorrow. I'm not sure if he can start the game or not, but that can be a solution. Anyway, Allegri, Max was using a bit of tactic to make sure that you are confusing the ideas of Udinese. Important is that you are not confusing your own ideas. But then he also said that Kean, that he's doing sometimes good or sometimes bad performance. Anyway, he changed a lot this season. He arrived fantastically with a total different mentality. He's becoming more mature. He lost 6 kilograms versus last season. That's a lot. That's really a lot for a player that when you're looking at him, when you're watching, he's still a beast, huh? Still a beast, still strong, Moise Kean. So I don't know if he will start or not. But anyway, it's a total different one. Aldo is saying Di Maria burns mouth drinking mate. Hey guys, the last one that I remember that was burned with mate. Poor guy. Who am I speaking about? Why I'm taking this away? Because speaking about the hot, it's hot. Write me the name. Ex-Juve player. Burned with mate. If you saw a bit of the history of Netflix, you know who am I speaking about. Woo. No, Dybala. No, not Sturaro. Guys, seriously. He burns himself with mate. Guys, seriously, guys. Not Dybala, not Sturaro, not Pereira, ex-player of Juve that will play versus us tomorrow. And actually, Allegri liked him really well. No, not Marchisio. Guys, okay. Mate. What is mate? It's a kind, it's not coffee, it's not tea, but it's in that family. So think about South American players. Finally, mamma mia, Chris Crane is telling Tevez. Yes, Tevez, when he was a kid, when he was a baby, didn't you don't know the whole story of Tevez? He was a kid, he was in bed, and the mother was drinking with a friend of her mate, and actually the hot mate fell on him, and that's why he's burned all that part of his body. Because he was about to die, he was about to pass away, guys. It's herbal drink, indeed. So, hey, you don't know about Tevez, the story. One day I will read you the story about Tevez, then, if I need to... Guys, I told you today the story of Gianluca Vialli. Guys, you didn't know, Aldo. No. Seriously, yeah? Yeah. Luckily, luckily not. And also, he never wanted to take it away because of all his money could potentially, clean it up, or he never wanted to. That's a beautiful story. Beautiful, no, yeah. The end is beautiful because luckily he's there and he had a fantastic career, had family, and if his life was good, but strange, dangerous story. If you didn't watch the miniseries on Netflix, but you can find also articles online, of course. Whatever. That was about Di Maria that could potentially play tomorrow with a surprise. Cuadrado and De Sciglio, impossible. But then he gave also a kind of schedule of the players, and there was one word that I really loved. Really loved. He said, Cuadrado. Kind of that order. Cuadrado will be the next one to come back, more or less in 1 week. Maybe Napoli, maybe after Napoli. De Sciglio. Then he said, wait, let me check the order. Cuadrado, De Sciglio, Bonucci, Vlahovic, Pogba. At Pogba he stopped and he said that he's doing really well. I read 100 articles about Pogba that will come back. Gazzetta dello Sport, even Tutto Sport, whatever. They all knew when he would come back. He will come back in 10 days. He will come back in 7 days. He's okay. It's not a big injury. Hey, he needs the surgery. He will come back in that time. He will play in 2023. He will play at the World Cup. He will play here. Nobody was right. The only one that always told you the truth, you like him or you don't like him, and it was not funny to hear, but it was Allegri. Every time that someone was asking him about Pogba, he said, I don't know when we will see him. At the moment, he's not even able to walk. What are you thinking about playing a football game? He will not play in 2022 anymore. Not sure if he will be there in the first game of 2023. We don't believe so. Let's see. When he will be able to run, I will be able to tell you. So he has been always really not negative, but really realistic in not exciting people about the return of Pogba. To tell you sometimes that the papers are just, I don't know what they are saying, but Allegri was right. And for the very first time, today on the 6th of January, by the way, for the people that are celebrating Happy King Day, I don't know the name, it's King Days. You know, when you eat the cake and there is something, and then you're the king. Happy King Day. Anyway, for the first time, he was super excited about Paul Pogba. And I'm happy. Really happy. Because that means that, attenzione, from one day to the other, squad list, without mentioning it before, Paul Pogba. There will be two excitements. The one when he will finally join the team and you are sure that the admin will spoil it like all day long. They will make videos about it on YouTube. And then the day without knowing it, because the day before, Allegri will not say it. He will not say it. And the day after, you will see Pogba on the squad list. La magie. Probably versus Monza in Coppa Italia. Maybe later. Anyway, I don't know. I'm just inventing. People are asking me, Beppe, what about McAllister? Welcome to Juve. McAllister, no. You see, guys, I took out my sweater. I have the, what is it? Mercato is Crazy t-shirt. Fantastic t-shirt. And people now, they immediately Mercato. Beppe, what about McAllister? Well, there were big voices on Gazzetta dello Sport. I said one thing when these art Epifani, Grande Aldo, the three kings, not only one, the three kings. But anyway, at home it's always me that is the king. Gazzetta dello Sport, they made these big articles. He said yes to Juve. And I said something in the video. I said I hope that Gazzetta dello Sport is not doing a kind of strategy to make sure that the Juventini are reading again La Gazzetta dello Sport. Because, you know, the big hashtag blocco la Gazzetta, what means I block Gazzetta dello Sport online. Do you remember that? Because Juventini, they were pissed off that Gazzetta was speaking bad every single day about Juventus. Well, they were all blocking La Gazzetta. They didn't want to read it, and you know it online is really important as a media. And also Juventus, if they are starting to lose a lot of their readers also online, well, it starts to be really difficult. Well, Gazzetta dello Sport, from one day to another, McAllister, big, boom, 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 he already said yes to Juve. Since there, we never hear about it. For one reason, of course, it's until the 18th of January we don't hear about Mercato at Juve. You will hear some names, but nothing really concrete will happen. It will be until the 18th. From that day, a lot of things can happen. McAllister, well, his coach said that we want to keep him, and probably he will be until the end of the season here with Brighton. Yesterday or 2 days ago, they won after losing. So it's, you know, it's like they lose 3-0, they win 5-0. One day, De Zerbi is a loser, and then I'm happy because I don't really appreciate him. The day after, he's winning 4-0, 5-0, and then he's the king of the world, and I am in the mud. This is, you know, the season of Brighton, so I don't believe he will leave. Speaking about Adrien Rabiot, fantastic news. Max didn't speak about him in the press conference today. He didn't really mention him, but he will probably start, especially because he played a few minutes there. But Adrien Rabiot, they are speaking about him not resigning, going away, signing again, renewing the contract. You know, to answer first the question of Abab, this one was on the site of Turin Giants. And you can see also our friend Dave that is there saying, Ciao Beppe, you are wearing the Turin Giants and we chose the same image for our thumbnails. Great minds. Well, Mercato is crazy with a fantastic t-shirt made by Turin Giants. They asked me if they could do it. I said, yeah, of course, do it. It's really nice. I don't know if they are still on sale or not. But you had two versions. The white t-shirt with pink, and the black version. It's super thin. I like it. But I don't know if they are selling it again still or not. You have to ask Abab. I'm not sure. But I was speaking about who? Can you remember me? I don't remember who I was speaking about. Guys, I forgot. Rabiot. Thank you, Anthony Schifano. So, Rabiot, well, they're speaking about renewing. You know, I said today to my son, I was speaking with him, and I said, you know what, Rabiot, who knows? If, because, guys, what's the difference between 7 million and 10 million? You will tell me, Beppe, 3 million. Easy. Between 7 and 10, it's 3 million. Yeah, of course, it's 3 million. Does it change your life? I don't know. If you tell me, Beppe, tomorrow we pay you 100K a year and you do only YouTube, mamma mia. Yes, this probably will change my life. Because I have security for 1 year, for 3 years, whatever the length of the contract, that I can do only YouTube and I'm happy. And I have no, 100K a year is a lot. Speaking about net money on your pocket, it's a lot. If you're telling me, Beppe, 300K, 1 million, it's life-changing. It's really life-changing. But if you are already earning since a few years, 5 million, 7 million, 8 million, well, guys, the difference between 7 and 10 is quite small. So it doesn't exist that much. But why not Rabiot thinking, the end of my contract, I finally find a team that is starting to respect me. Fans that I'm starting to convince that are not insulting me anymore, that are even praising. Some of them are still starting to praise me and being happy and celebrate me. I found a coach that understood me completely, because everyone trusted me until now, but now he even understood and unlocked my greater potential, and he even believes in me for the future, even if he already signed Paul Pogba. The first reasoning will be of Rabiot, I believe, is staying until the end of the season. And I'm happy with that, because we don't know how Pogba will come back. We have no money for big other midfielders, except if you are able to sell Weston McKennie. But even selling Weston McKennie and, signing, okay, you sign and you announce McAllister. Who said that McAllister will perform after the World Cup? in Serie A in a new league. You never know. So, you know, if you are competing to go back and to stay in that top 4, probably Rabiot staying is the best solution ever. Even if you will probably lose 10 million that some clubs would be able to pay you, it's the best solution. But probably also for him, staying until this end of the season, understanding where we are in terms of court decisions, investigations, but also at the end of Serie A. Did we qualify for Europe, Champions League? Yes or no? Is Allegri really staying like all the voices are saying at the moment? Maybe. Allegri staying. Champions League football. Salary proposal is that's the same as what he's earning now. He could say yes. He could say potentially yes. I stay. And I stay loyal to colors, and I show that finally I found where I'm happy. Sometimes happiness is more important than 1 million more. That's the reasoning, long term. I tell you the truth, 2 weeks ago, I would never have believed that there was any possibility for Rabiot to extend. Never. And more from Juve side than Rabiot, because I didn't believe that Juventus was able to go with a proposal of 7+1. I was thinking that he wanted minimum 10 million, but apparently it looks like they are even open to discuss. Guys, let's see. But anyway, versus Udinese, he will play. Could potentially start Paredes, but I'm not sure. I think that Max, he gave up on Paredes already today. Rabiot can be convinced by money. I don't know. To be honest, I don't know. If it's convinced by only money. I don't know. I don't know him personally, yeah? The day that I will have, I don't know, a meeting with him, I will speak, I will learn how he is, how he thinks. Then I tell you, yes, he prefers to earn 3 million more and a new challenge in Premier League. But I don't know. Well, at the World Cup, he was already speaking about how much he appreciated Premier League and he wanted to compete in that league, plus the voices of 10 million, 15 million salary. And then you say he's gone. More and more the days are going. Sometimes you never know. Huh? Sometimes you never know. Look at my wife. I would have had normally 0 chances to be with my wife. 0. She's too beautiful for me. I would have had 0 chances. Love is bigger. And she fell in love with me. I had to work hard to make sure that she fell in love. But it worked. At the end, it worked. Beppe, any news about the possible formation tomorrow? Well, I already gave but it's just my. What I would do, I repeat for people that just enter, Szczesny to the goal, Alexandro, Rugani, and Danilo. I also explained why, with on the right side. What did I say? I would start with Chiesa, but with an agreement that he plays 45 minutes and goes out. Chiesa on the right. On the left, Kostic. In the middle, Rabiot, Locatelli, Fagioli. If it's not Locatelli, start with Paredes. Up front, I would do Soulé to start the game with. Soulé and Milik, because he scored, he had that grinta. That could be something for me, something to start. And then in second half, you take Chiesa out, and you put Barbieri, a bit more defensive there. You put Barbieri. Benjamin is saying maximum of likes for Gianluca Vialli. Guys, if you really want to honor Vialli, the memory, is go back to the beginning of the video later if you missed it and listen to the beautiful story. Today I'm not even asking like. Would be strange to ask likes me on the channel for Vialli, because at the end, the like will go towards the channel, not for Vialli. But of course, if you want to like the video, who am I to say no? Because it's true that we have only 105 likes, and it's okay. Why sign Rabiot when we have Zaccaria Rovella coming back? Good one, Michael. Well, Rovella will come back. Then it's up to Juventus to decide what to do with Rovella. Zaccaria, it's not anymore up to Juve to decide, because he's on loan to Chelsea. If I'm not wrong, they are paying us 7 million for the loan of Zaccaria, and if they want to buy him permanently, they decide, and they can spend 28 on top, so a total of 35 million for Zaccaria. So, you know, it's always like that, huh? If he's doing really bad, he comes back, and actually Juventus is sad because you have a player that objectively did super bad, and it will be super difficult to sell him because the world is watching the performances. If he's doing really good, then you are a bit sad because he's not coming back. Zaccaria didn't play for 6 months. Now he played like one game before the international break, which actually was the sign that he would stay, because he can't play for 3 clubs in the same years, 2 maximum, so he couldn't come back to Juve. And I know that now he's doing beautiful performances. When I bought this shirt, guys, people, they were mocking me. I think I am the only person on earth that bought a shirt 28 Zaccaria. Even the mother of Denis Zaccaria and the father, they don't have that shirt. They don't have the shirt of Zaccaria. They said, you know what, not sure. It's expensive, €100, we don't know. I knew, I bought. And now people, they are starting to realize the potential of the player from Switzerland. The potential of these players. They start to understand, but I knew already. As I knew about Bentancur and Kulusevski, find me another person on earth that had a collection of Bentancur, Kulusevski, and Zaccaria shirts. Nobody. I have, because I knew the potential. I see things. Arthur, no, let's not exaggerate, guys. I tell you that I see things, and also here, I saw things in Arthur that I didn't have to buy his shirt. So, no, Arthur, no. No. There is a limit. We have to let's respect. But Beppe, do you have Bernardeschi? No, I don't have Bernardeschi. Guys, I tell you, same. There are some limits in life. No, Bernardeschi, I defended him, but he will never enter my here in the collection. No. You don't have to go with your heart. You have to go with your brains. Pep Guardiola, you see potential. Yeah, I see potential. Probably the problem is that I see potential for other teams. I would love one day that I see potential and then it's happening here in Juventus. Would be nice. You see, Miretti, I bought the shirt. Since I bought the shirt of Miretti, it's over. Miretti is doing well. He's playing normal for a 19 years old boy. Before I bought the shirt of Miretti, he was fantastic. Then we will sell him, and then he will be the new Pedri, Xavi, Iniesta, and whatever you want. Would be nice. If one day we have players where I buy, like the third shirt, I want to put Sule on it. I'm waiting. I wanted to put Di Maria, I didn't. That's good. What else did we have to speak about? Formation of today. Wait, we spoke about Chiesa, we spoke about Di Maria. Today they will train at 4 p.m. So when we started the live, they were just starting training. And after the training, they will stay also all together at the G Hotel, because tomorrow morning they do the morning training session and then they go to the stadium to play the game. I will be live watch along on Juventus Twitch. So if you want to pre-game and game, I will be there. What about the last thing that he said? How is he managing subs? Super important. He said, well, it depends on the game. It depends on the opponent. It depends on a lot of things. And then he continued, wait, that's a moment of a break. Why am I saying, why am I saying this? Because how many times did I tell you? Allegri, he has a really fantastic skill. The skill to adapt and to understand and to read the game that will be played. This is a skill that not a lot of people, coaches have. The problem is that he's always adapting. That it's Cremonese, Monza, Inter, Barcelona, Chelsea, Paris Saint-Germain, he's always adapting. What you miss with Max, and this is sometimes the annoying part, is him saying, our game, we do like that, and they need to adapt. Well, today we will play tomorrow versus Udinese. We will try to understand how they play, to adapt, to pay attention to them. And that's what he's saying also. How are you using the subs? Well, it depends. But of the game, the opponent, how many days you have between one game and the other to manage energies. And also something that he's doing since always is giving stability. So if he puts a midfielder with certain characteristics, the one next to him will be one with different characteristics that will make sure that they complete each other. And that's why you see some tandems that are created. I remember in the past when we were playing with our wingers, right back, left back. I remember Lichtsteiner was playing, and then you had Evra on the left. If it was not Lichtsteiner, it was another, then he played with another. You had, these kind of tandems, but you never had like 2 games in a row or 3 games in a row the same people, because one was more offensive, the other one was more defensive. And that's also what he's trying to do with Kostic when available. Okay, Kostic, and then you have another one. If he has the opportunity, he would play with Danilo. Ah, fantastic. I received the videos for tomorrow. Wow. Fantastic. I just received them. I'm sorry. Grande. I'm happy about that. Allegri is like a chameleon. They didn't give me everything. Okay, I will download it meanwhile that we are speaking. Vialli. Okay. I wanted one thing, but they didn't send it. Okay, I have the other ones. I'm already happy. Because I'm preparing the game of tomorrow as well, pre-game and so on, and I needed some videos. It is okay. What else did we forget to speak about? Wait, it's not over. He continues. He said the same thing for the strikers, depending on the... So, you start forming, and if you know really Allegri, you can even anticipate the lineups. It's not a difficult guy to anticipate. And then he also said that he finished with a joke, saying it also depends on luck. If you succeed with your changes, then you did well. If not, all the people are saying, but I would have done like this. It's always like that. That was the press conference of Allegri. What we know about tomorrow just is that Bremer will probably not play, and it's good, because if he receives a yellow card, he will miss the Napoli game, and that's good. I can already anticipate you. Rugani will play, except of injuries. I don't know about injuries. But Rugani, Danilo, Alexandro, probably what he will do will be Weston McKennie as a right winger. What he will do, Weston McKennie as a right winger with Fagioli, Rabiot, Locatelli on the left, Kostic, and probably Keane and Milik there up. I would do 2 changes, starting with Chiesa and Soulé. Soulé second striker, Chiesa on the right side, changing Chiesa for Barbieri in the second half. What I would do. But we continue with 3-5-2. Enric, Beppe, I'm sad because of Vialli, worried because of Udinese. Let's see what the mighty book is telling. You want to do the book? I'm scared to do the book today. I'm scared about what the book will say today. I don't even know where the book is today. Let's keep it maybe for tonight, the book. No, not the book. No, I don't feel... Today we already used one book. It's the book of Guido with the story of Gianluca Vialli. I don't feel it. Today I don't feel the book. So, guys, 5 minutes of question and then we close the live. I think it was a really great live. I believe, personally. I really enjoyed it. Then, of course, if you want to, we can see this. Do you remember that live? I will show you this one. Wait. I will mute myself. Let's watch again the summer. Do you remember that live? It was fantastic. Fantastic. Wait, I will show you. Ah! Mamma mia, the ad! Stop! The ad! I saw the ad. Mamma mia. Ooh! Ma Di Marzio. Why is Di Marzio always going with... I was explaining the story! And then Di Marzio, he comes with... No! Di Marzio again! It's the same ad that we saw in the summer! No, I can't see it anymore! Why? Di Marzio, what did you do? Di Marzio! You did it again! We were in a trip! I will wash my eyes. I need to unsee this. This is disaster. He did it again in the summer. Every time he was fooling us. Anyway, that was a really nice moment. Really nice moment. I liked it. So a few questions and then we close the live. I will go to... Today I bring my son and my wife to the restaurant. We go for a dinner. We go to dinner. Gianluca Vialli again, some beautiful pictures. Fantastic pictures. A lot of people remembering him. Beautiful. Capitano, Gianluca Vialli. What are the questions, guys? It was fantastic, Anthony. That live was fantastic. Ciao, Ryan. The summer live, a lot. GJustjuve, no, it's a dinner. It's a cheap restaurant, an Italian restaurant, really cheap. No. What about Ciao Juventini? Well, Ciao Juventini apparently is slowly but surely recuperating. Now Juventus will have to decide if we loan him out to another team or we let him play with the next gens. He will not be with the first team. Then maybe he can do one appearance or not, whatever, but he may be aggregated to the young team. Good news for people who wants to know, it's that Dean Huijsen has been, not officially, but I can already tell you, promoted to the under-23 with the possibility to still play a few games with the under-19, but he will have the possibility now to, his base team, his home team will be the under-23. He's only 17, so that's really beautiful. What else can we say about the last rumors? Pay attention. They will be in 1 week the show on Apple TV of the Super League War of Football. I can't wait to see that one. Beppe, go to Moeders in Amsterdam. Location Hoofdwacht 6. I'm scared to go there, Chris. I'm really scared. I don't want to go there. The Mothers of Amsterdam, I don't want to go there. Ihataren, well, he's coming to Juve, and we will find him another team. Let's see if he wants to go or not, or what he wants to do with his future. Everyone is trying to help him. Apparently, he doesn't want to help himself, and that's really a pity. What are the chances that McKennie is leaving? Well, a lot will depend on the offers that he wants to accept, because the offers are arriving. But they are arriving from Bournemouth, from Aston Villa, apparently also from Fulham, and these low-table teams are not interesting him. He's young, he wants to do better. One that could potentially interest him is Dortmund. That is a bit higher, even if going to Dortmund, you know that your opportunity to play the league is one time every 15 years. But at least you are playing in the big cups of Europe. So, and he lived in Germany. So that can be one. Dortmund. In Premier League, a team like Tottenham would be great, but at the moment they are not on the player, or at least no real offer arrived. You know that they have their problem there with the other guy, the other crazy guy.
If you want the truth, I tell you the truth.
With this guy, so if you want the truth, I tell you the truth. What else? Questions. Sule Huisen, new Dybala in the league. But actually, Sule is more Di Maria than Dybala. Huh? It's a mixture between Dybala and Di Maria. And of course, not there yet, as you say. Ciao, Benjamin! Intellectuals! I'm late, Beppe. Watch again the beginning of the live. Watch again the beginning of the live. Intellectuals. That was a really great one. I tell you, GJustjuve. Guys, it's over. Bournemouth and Fulham. Is this a joke? All the teams that have food for our American ranch sauce player. Good one. Good one. But then Hamburg from Germany should be on the player. That should be actually the best team possible for Weston. If you are speaking about a wordplay. Bournemouth, Fulham, and Hamburg in Germany. Before I started saying strange things, guys, over. Conte is waiting for you. Well, pay attention because Ab will not be happy, but looks like Allegri will stay. Looks like he will stay. He's here to stay. Like Leonardo DiCaprio said one day, "I'm not fucking leaving." That's the same thing that Allegri said to John Elkann. West Ham, Fulham, Bournemouth. You're not laughing with my joke about Hamburg. This is a bit sad. I'm trying to check if there is something else. Apparently Sampdoria asked Juventus for the simple loan of Rugani. Lares, Panettone or Pandoro? Both. Even if Pandoro, I like a bit more Pandoro, but I like both. Sometimes you don't have to choose. But Pandoro, sometimes, most of the time they are saying Pandoro is for the kids. It's more funny. The other one is a bit more mature, a bit more older, a bit more. But I love both, depending on the mood. But Pandoro is fun. If really I'm obliged, because you say one of both, I will go probably with depending on the mood, probably Pandoro. Malo Gusto is bad taste. Enric, bad taste. No, fantastic player, but also him, I will go probably away for a big salary one day. But we already spoke about it, Dino. We already spoke about it, about all the away wins. 1-0, 1-0, 1-0. Ciao, bye. That was it. Maybe I will cut. I will cut the live, the first part of the book, and I will put it as a video for the people that didn't see it. Ragazzi, thank you to Hamburger, to Lester Tete, to Aldo, to Louis Pace, grande Louis, happy that you are here, to Abai, to Ryan S, to Anthony Schifano. It was a nice afternoon, early afternoon one. Ciao Stavros, ciao Alessio, Styler Z, Bogdan, Noah, ciao a tutti. Again, video to honor Gianluca Vialli, and I hope I was at the height. Ciao, Forza, Juve. Ciao guys. Ciao Acid. Ciao Sani. Ciao Krauschik. Ciao Noah. Maximum of likes. You wanted the truth, but
If you want the truth,